A two-dimensional array can represent a lot of things. When you want to link it up to mathematics, a matrix is one of them. And when it comes to matrices, there are a lot of properties, like the transpose of a matrix, inverse of a matrix, and then you have the diagonals as well. In this particular problem, you are given a matrix and you have to find out the sum of both the diagonals. So let's see how we can do it. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. First, I will explain you the problem statement and we will look at some sample test cases. Going forward, we are going to see the two types of matrices possible, one with an odd number of elements and one with an even number of elements. We will find an efficient solution for both of them, and then as usual, we'll also do a dry run of the code so that you can visualize how all of this is actually working in action. Without further ado, let's get started. The given problem statement is actually very accurate. You are given a square matrix and you have to return the sum of both the diagonals. So what does that mean? If you look at the first test case, I have a 3 by 3 matrix and its diagonals will be 1, 5, 9 and the other diagonal will be 3, 5, 7. Correct? Now, all you have to do is you have to return me the sum. So the first diagonal is 1, 5 and then a 9 and the other diagonal is 3, then a 5 again and then a 7. So notice that we have already covered 5 over here, right? So while covering the second diagonal, we will not include 5 again. Now, when you add up all of these values, you get 25. So for the first test case, 25 is your answer. Similarly, if you look at your second test case, this time you have a matrix that has 4 rows and 4 columns. So this time the diagonals will be a little different. This is your first diagonal and then this is your second diagonal. Notice that you do not have any overlapping elements in this case. So for the second test case, when you write down both the diagonals, you get the left diagonal, these are all the 4 values, and then you get the right diagonal. So now I have all the values and notice that none of the values overlap. So when you add up all of this, you get 8. And for the second test case, 8 is your answer. Now, if you feel that you have understood the problem statement even better, feel free to first try it out. Otherwise, let us dive into the solution. To come up with a solution, you first need to decide, okay, what all different type of matrices are possible. In this problem statement, you have been specifically told that it is a square matrix. So the number of rows will always be equal to the number of columns, correct? Now, you can have two different type of matrices, either odd number of rows or even number of rows, correct? So the first example is that we have a matrix of even numbered elements. So over here, I have a matrix that is the size 4 by 4. And then I have one more matrix that is larger and its size is 6 by 6, right? Why are we doing this? This is so that we understand what do the diagonals actually mean. If you have to now find out the diagonals, the left diagonal of this smaller matrix will be this particular diagonal, correct? And the right diagonal of this particular matrix will be this particular diagonal. So notice that none of the elements are overlapping, right? Similarly, for the bigger matrix also, if I write down all the elements of my left diagonal, these will be the 6 elements. And now if I take the right diagonal, these will be the 6 elements. Once again, notice that none of the elements are overlapping in any of these cases. So no matter how large your matrix is, as long as the square matrix has an even length, then none of the elements will overlap. So finding the sum becomes very easy. What you can simply do is you can simply write a for loop to iterate over each of these elements, and in the same loop you can also cover all of these elements. So just by using 2 loops you can determine the sum, and this will be a time complexity of order of n because you're only going through the diagonals. You're not interested in any of these elements, correct? So this was the case when your matrix size was even number of elements. What happens when your matrix size is odd number of elements? So this time what do I have is I have a matrix that is size 3 by 3 and then I have an even bigger matrix that has a size 5 by 5. Now just follow the concept. What do you have to do? You have to find out the sum of the left diagonal and then the sum of the right diagonal. So what do we see over here? We see that when we are taking the diagonals, one element is overlapping, right? that is the middle element. Similarly, let us try to take our hypothesis and apply it on a larger matrix. When I have a 5 by 5 matrix, look at the left diagonal. This is my left diagonal. And now, if I have to look at the right diagonal, once again, only one element is overlapping. So, all you need to do is, if your matrix has an odd length, then you just need to skip this element only once. So basically what we need to do is just find out the sum of all the elements in the left diagonal. This you can do in one for loop, and then in another loop what you can do is you can find out the sum of the right diagonal. Now when you add up all of these together, what do you have? You have the sum of all of these colored elements, correct? And at the same time you have this element that is counted twice. What do you need to do? You need to count it only once. So from your entire sum, just remove the middlemost element of your matrix, and then you will get the desired sum of both the diagonals. So basically the idea is, find out the sum of all the elements in the left diagonal, then find out the sum of all the elements in the right diagonal. Now you have this total sum, correct? If your matrix is even numbered elements, then don't do anything and this is your answer. But if your matrix has odd number of elements, then just subtract one of the middle element. And that's it. That will be your answer. Now, this is a pretty basic concept and we will soon be writing code for it. But before moving ahead, I just want to cover one more part. This particular problem had a square matrix, correct? So you were able to get both of the diagonals. When you encounter this problem in an interview, it could be possible that you can be given a matrix that has a size n cross m. That means the number of rows may not be equal to the number of columns. In that case, you will have to handle the scenario separately. For example, if I have a matrix like this, so the left diagonal will cover just these four elements, right? And the right diagonal is gonna cover these four elements. So the definition of your diagonal changes. So it is always a good idea that you ask your interviewer what exactly does he need. Does he need only these elements, or is he expecting that your diagonal will bounce off and then you have to cover more elements? So this is just a gotcha and something that you want to keep in your mind if you encounter this problem in an actual interview. Now let us quickly do a dry run of the method that we just discussed. On the left side of your screen, you will have the complete code to implement this solution. And on the right, I have a sample matrix that is passed in as an input parameter to the function diagonal sum. Now, beginning off with the dry run, what is the first thing that we do? First of all, we initialize two variables, that is the sum, and we find out what is the number of rows in the matrix. That I can get by matrix.length, correct? For the next step, what do you need to do? You need to find out the sum of both the diagonals. And I told you that either you can use two loops or you can also do it in a single loop. So I have a for loop that starts from 0 and goes all the way up till n. That means n rows. So I have 3 rows over here. This loop will run 3 times. And in each iteration, what do? I add matrix of I comma I. So when it starts at 0, so I am adding 0 comma 0, that is 1, correct? And at the same time, I can also add this particular 3 as well, correct? How do I do that? I already have the row, correct? That is I. And to derive the rightmost element, what do? I do n minus I minus 1. This will give me the element when I'm coming from the right side. So currently n is 3, I is 0 and 1 is 1. So I get 2 over here. That means I am referring to this particular element. So I was able to add up both of these elements, correct? This loop is now going to run again, and this time the value of I changes to 1. So when the value of I is 1, I take up element 1 comma 1, and 1 comma 1 is this particular element. So what will happen is, when this loop keeps on running, it will add all the elements of the left diagonal and then it will add all the elements of the right diagonal. I get all of this sum. Now the most essential part. You need to check if your matrix is odd or not. Since this matrix is odd, I only have 3 rows. What do we need to do? We need to subtract the middlemost element from this sum once. And that is exactly what we do. We check if this matrix is odd. From the sum, I will minus the element that was at the middle point of your entire matrix. Now, once this is done, you will have your exact sum available over here, and this is then returned as the answer. And once again, the time complexity of this solution is order of n because we only run one for loop to travel through all the rows, and the space complexity of this solution is order of 1 because you are not taking up any extra space to arrive at your solution. I hope now you have a good understanding about the problem and its solution. I just want to say that there can be numerous problems on matrices, and it is not necessary that each and every one of them can be solved so easily. In fact, some of the toughest problems you will encounter during your programming journey are based upon matrices, because in that you can have n different type of combinations possible. You can have some that are based on backtracking. You can have some that are based on distances. You can have some that are based upon recursion. So just keep that in mind and try to understand the working of a 2D matrix very clearly, because it is going to help you a lot. Anyhow, when you're following the video, did you face any problems? Just tell me everything in the comment section below and I would love to discuss all of it with you. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This keeps me motivated and I can make more such videos. Also, a huge shout out to all the members who support my channel. You guys really keep me going. And as a member, you do get priority reply to your comments as well. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Until then, see ya.